Today is April the 3rd, 2024, and I'm a little delayed due to all of the flooding that we've got in our area. So first and foremost, thank you guys for hanging in and jumping in while I'm doing these Wednesday mornings. It was supposed to be 9:30, and as you know, it's 11:30. So thank you. So let me get a sip of my tea, and then I'm going to slip into the chat real quick. Sorry. Dry pipes. So let me blow up my chat and see if I can catch it over here. That way I can see what all's going on. I have to blow it up. So just a second. And I appreciate everybody for coming in today. So good morning, Day. Thanks for hopping in. I humbly appreciate you. I think that's Jan, but correct me if I'm wrong. Jay Kentland, I believe that's what was on your paper, but I want to make sure I'm saying it the right name. I thought of another name for your Sunday morning show, just saying. I like that. We'll see how that goes. That's kind of cute. I like that. Donnell, hello. So with Debbie, good morning. Sun shining here. Lucky girl. Pat Strawhouse is in the house. Hello, Mennonite Farmhouse. Good morning. Let me see. Paid the rent, thank you. Sheila's in the house. Hello. Brenda Foley's in the house. I thought, maybe it might be 11:30s. That way everybody could take their lunch break with me. How cool would that be? I knew you'd love Fallon's pattern. It's going to be a fun one, but I'm doing it with a little bit of a twist. So I'm going to explain all of that momentarily. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, Elizabeth, Janet, Becky, Rebel. Hello. Now I've got my chat up to where I can start seeing it. So let me move some stuff here. That way I'll move it closer for me. That way you're not going to see me moving stuff around. I'm going to find my perfect angles, I promise. But trial and error is how I'm going to roll over here. Now you're not going to see me looking this way. It's straight in front of me. So let me see. Mary, hello. Hi and bye. I've got to run. Mammogram, bone density test. We'll catch you later. Mary, praying it all turns out perfectly fine for you. Lurking while working. I like that saying. You're getting paid to watch me. So anyway, my Wednesdays is supposed to be a little bit about a hack. So I'm going to tell you about a little tiny hack that some of us know, some of us don't know. So this way, I can talk about it. You're going to understand what I'm saying. And if you've got any questions, let me know. Shh, don't tell the bosses. I never would. I believe together we can all have a good time. So anyway, today's little chit chat is going to be about binding. There's 3 separate ways. I'm new, so I'm learning with you. So anyway, you can cut across the grain, straight of grain, or on the bias. Let me know in the chat which way you prefer to cut yours. I'm kind of curious before we get this party started. It's just fun to see how other people do it. But there is a method to all 3 of these that I know how I cut. And I'm just curious how everybody else does theirs. And it's going to like a little learning if you didn't know the differences. A lot of people just pull it out like this, throw it down, whack the end off where you're with a fabric. Yep, a lot of people do with a fabric. Where your salvage is straight of grain unless the quilt has curved edges. Good job. So anyway, there's the cross of grain. It might have a bit more stretch than the lengthwise. That's why people do it cross of grain. Straight of grain, be careful because your fabric's going to start fraying. yes, there has been times I've had that little bit of fabric. I didn't have the salvage left, and I know that now. That's one of the things. That's why it probably gave me a little bit of a fit, you know? But for the 2 quilts that I'm going to be talking about today, I am going to be cutting it on the bias. There's a reason for it. Not that the pattern calls for it, but I'm going to be using striped fabric, and I want it to look like it's coming around on it. And I think that's going to add a little extra, because patterns are just that. It's your template to use to make it however you want. So remember, you're cross grain on the bias or straight of grain. Like I'm always cross the grain, cut off my salvage, and I chop, 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 and I get it all. Have a little bit of stretch, but not a whole lot. But for the next 2 quilts that I am doing, I am always going to be on the bias for these. And when I get ready to start setting this up, you're going to see the why. And you're going to like this. Usually straight of grain unless, okay. Waiting in the doctor's office to see if Terry can take his treatment this time. Praying, girl, praying. I always use jelly roll strips. Keep black on hand. That makes sense. That does make sense. That way, all you got to do is join them in, and bam, you can get your binding done really fast with jelly roll strips. Let me talk to you really quick about the Bargello that we're doing. It was on target to start on the 12th. We do have 3, possibly 4 rollers. We have 27. I did not check my emails this morning that we know for sure are sewing. So what we're going to be doing is sharing a roller. Easy peasy. It's not going to be hard. So what I would recommend is look in your book, figure out how you want your fabrics to lay. Go ahead and join your 2 pieces because you need your 84 length. Make sure they're matching. And go ahead and stitch those 2 1/2, 2 1/4, whichever one you're doing. I'm doing 2 1/4 per the pattern writer. I've spoke with her and she recommends I'm going to get a better lineup if I go with the 2 1/4. I'm not going to tell you to deviate from the pattern. I'm going to try it out and see what happens. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yep. I love Donna. She just keeps me on my toes. So that's just one of the things. I am going to push it back, I believe, to probably the 2nd week of May because everybody sews at their own pace. But I'm going to check my calendar and give you a solid, okay, this is when we're going to start this. I'm trying to decide, are we going to do this on a Monday night? That way everybody's awake, you're fresh, instead of a Friday night sew. I really think it needs to go to a Monday night that we can sew this together. When I cut my first panel, I'm going to have Joe do a little standalone video so that you can see, and you're always going to have that video to step back in and look at instead of watching my whole video of how we're going to do this. But get your strips sewed. Remember, you're going to iron one up, one down, one up, one down. It's going to be really important because we're going to put these into the cylinder. When you get to the cylinder stage, you need to email me. Leanne and I will have our rollers, and what we're going to do is the first one that says, hey, I'm ready to cut, I'm going to mail you my roller, or Leanne will mail you hers. The rollers are going to have the cutting instructions so you know how to operate this roller. You're going to have to look at that. You're going to be responsible to mail the roller to the next person. Don't mail it back to me. Don't mail it back to Leanne because it's not going to be beneficial to just tie up the roller. So when we mail it to you, we're going to have the next person's name on a Post-it note stuck to that ruler with their mailing address. You're going to mail it on to them. We don't want the ruler to be tied up. So please don't ask for the ruler until you're ready to cut. I'm not going to pay $30 to overnight it to you, but what I will do is pay the $10 to ship it, and I kept the packaging mine came in, and it's just 2 pieces of cardboard stuck together. Tape the edges, drop the info down in, and you mail it. It's really simple. We don't want the ruler to get lost, so it's going to be really important that once you mail the ruler, you have your tracking number. You send it to me, that way I know I can track it on my end, and you're going to send it to the recipient as well. This is going to be a fun project, but it's going to be more time consuming than I had originally planned. I originally planned, like all of my Bargellos, we can do it in 3 weeks. This one's probably going to take us a couple months. So each time I do a certain step, I'm going to have Joe do the overhead view down on my table so that you're going to be able to see, and when you get the ruler in your hand, you're going to be able to see how you need to turn this cylinder or you need to turn the ruler and the why. They're going to be little 5-minute videos, and then I'll have my design wall back here and I'll be hanging them. And you're going to do them a lot like we normally would our regular Bargello, to where you're picking a seam and laying it out, picking a seam, laying it out. Then we're going to join it. So don't get ahead of yourself. Right now, the main thing is get your cylinders built. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to pass on the Bargello. I don't blame you. I'm so slow, I would tie up the ruler too long. It's okay. It's okay. I've had a couple people say, let's just skip it and go to the regular Bargello. They like that, and they can adjust the strips however they would like. We can also do that, you know. It's just going to be what you want it to be. This is going to be a harder pattern, and I believe some people is really going to struggle with the ruler. I do believe that Rebel also has one available that she has talked to her mom about, and that it can be loaned out. So that'll give us another ruler. I bought one online probably last week. It should have already been here. The tracking number's a dead tracking. So thank God for PayPal. If it's not here by Wednesday, I'm going to get my money back. Leanne had ordered from a different website, and they had 11. She ordered all 11, and then she found out it was a fake website. So the challenge is real with this quilt. So we can either agree to abort this project, and we can all try to sell off our books, or I can sell the ruler that I have, you know, with the book, and someone can have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with whatever you all decide. It's just going to be trial and error. But if we do, not if, whichever direction we choose to go to with this Bargello, it's either going to be the regular Bargello that I normally do. We just sew the strips down and I show you the cuts, and then we adjust them. So it's just going to be fun. I bought the alternate ruler, just need to know how to use it. That's the emails I'm getting, Sheila. They don't know how to use the rulers. And no one wants to jack up their fabric on a, let's try this. I'm going to do the regular Bargello, hopefully. I have 4 jelly rolls put aside for the Bargello. Sounds good. So, in my community tab on my YouTube, I am going to put a poll in there. Are we going to do the Year of the Dragon, or do you just want to do the regular Bargello? Janine, one of my moderators, she did the regular Bargello, and she showed it, and it looks like a sunrise coming up and down, but that's her fabric choices, and she showed a lot of movement when she did it. So we can skirt around this project if the ruler becomes any more of an issue. I am doing the regular one and keeping the ruler for me to try it later. I've got 4 emails this morning just on this, according to Joe. I haven't sat down and read all of them, so we're just going to have to wait and see. If it looks like everybody would really prefer to do the standard Bargello. So I'm going to put a poll out today, and I'll let it run till Monday. And we're going to see. I'll mention it again on Friday's live. I'll mention it again on Monday when we do the giveaway for the thrift store throwdown. Monday is our 2-year anniversary on YouTube. And I'm going to do a form of a giveaway, not just the quilt to a lucky recipient. I'm doing the drawings on my side, but Amy's going to be mailing her quilt out from my side's drawing. So the first name out of the box, out of the bucket, is going to be Amy's, because this has been a blast working with her. I thoroughly enjoyed this project. So I want her quilt to go first. Mine will be the second pulling. What I'm going to also do is, since it's our 2-year anniversary, I'm going to pull a third winner. But they're not going to get a quilt. It's hard to believe it's been 2 years. But I will figure out something cool. So the third time I draw from that bin, it could be a year-long membership to our squirrel group. It could be a magnitude. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But it's going to be something that's going to bring you joy. So that'll be our third drawing. And I'll talk to Joe. I really think the membership would be cool, because you guys are here to support us. So we'll have to just figure that out. I'm doing the ruler, keeping the one for myself. I have directions from the book that came with the ruler. I will post on Facebook page. Thank you, Paula. What is the alternate ruler? I don't have it in front of me. My book's downstairs. Can someone drop that? Wow, 2 years. It's hard to believe. Congratulations. I can remember, and I'm going to tell you, normally I was so embarrassed when I go back and look at my very first video. We were on our sun porch. He had his whole computer set up out there. And right behind was the quilts that I had made. And I kid you not, I'm sitting there talking and the computer's like this up my face. So you want to have a good time, go look at my very first video. I had been telling Joe all year, block that. Just block that. Make it private. But the other night we were laying there watching it before bed, and it was just really cute to see where we started. And he's had the first 2 years, he runs everything. And I'm stepping out of my comfort zone a lot and doing these little mini lives. So I'm learning how to utilize this side. God forbid, should something happen to him, I'll still be able to keep our channel going. Nothing's going to happen, knock on wood. It could be me first. But we want to be able to keep the channel going. So I'm learning little bits from Becca, from Joe, from anybody, that I can knock on the door and say, okay, this is what I need. I don't know how to do it. Can you help me? And I've never had any of them turn me down yet. So for that, I'm thankful and blessed. So we've talked the bias. We've talked the binding just about to death. I'm going to show you. Monday night's live, I started this quilt behind me, the strawberry lemonade. And it is now finished. It is quilted and it is bound. I sometimes get in a funk to where I can't sleep, so I stayed awake and put this puppy together. It's mind-blowing to me how one pattern, different fabrics, can give such a different view. It's great. Hey, Marty, welcome, welcome. God bless you, friends. I was just getting ready to talk about Project Dress-A-Girl. Yay! We've already started our collections of dresses, and we've also started collecting fabric for dresses and bias tape and thread. But in the description of all of our videos moving forward, we've got people calling, hey, can I Venmo you? Can I PayPal you? Postage to send these on, or can I help you in some way for Project Dress-A-Girl? So what we've done is set up we're calling it Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, but anything that goes into that account, it's called PayPal. It's in the description box. I don't want to say it wrong, but it's through PayPal. It's safe. And when it comes to me, I'm going to enter your name in the bucket for a chance to win a special prize. I think that's cool. So if you're making a monetary donation, you're going in the giveaway for Project Dress a Girl. And it's just going to be fun. Marty has 15 patterns. I watched her video. There's a lot going on for Project Dress Girl. You're not going to want to miss this year. I'm trying to get it scheduled that she and I can get together and have lunch. And when our schedules kind of align, I want to help her with her legit kit and I want to pick her brain just a little bit for the Project Dress a Girl. You can probably hear the siren here. We're under flooding conditions. And I'm sorry, I don't have the sound buffer on. I love how people are jumping in early. You are so amazing. God bless you. Every Monday night, I'm thinking later part of summer. I'm talking like August part of summer. I'm going to be starting to, Monday night, show the dresses that come in. That way, Marty has a video dialogue of all the dresses. Last year, I tried to lay them all out in my yard, and it was quite windy, and it was the worst video, I think, worse than my starter up video. So, she can get with me, and we can figure out a different way to showcase all of the beauty that you guys are sending. What Joe has recommended is, if you're sending me a dress, take a picture of the dress and send the picture you're giving me with the dress to our email. He can do a better video dialogue and add your name to each dress. I think that's what we really should ought to do. I love how, yeah, absolutely. I've got to get going. Have a great day. Sheila, have a fabulous day. What is her link? Day has dropped her link below. You do not want to skip any of her videos on Project Dress a Girl. Like I said, this year I'm twisting it up on our channel. Any channel holder that wishes to participate in helping us grow this Project Dress a Girl, and you want to sponsor a gift that we're going to give to a recipient. So far, we have Donna Stitchery that's going to be doing something. We have Debbie of Quilt Infects. We're figuring it out. We have Becca who's doing a fat quarter. You're not mailing me those gifts because I'm not going to pay the postage twice. But what we are going to do is have the running list of the giveaways. Becca's will be the first drawing coming out of the box because it was her idea to do these giveaways. And for that, we, on behalf of Project Dress a Girl, on behalf of Marty, everybody, we're thankful and blessed. So if you're mailing me binding, your name's going in the bucket. If you're mailing me fabric, your name's going in the bucket. But you're only going to get one chance to win. If I'm putting all of your names in every time you mail me something. But as an example, if you win one time, you only get to win one time. So if I reach in the bucket and I pull you out 50 times, you're only winning once. I'm going to pull it out and set your name aside. Pull it out and set your name aside. It's not fair to all of the others for one person or two to win all of these gifts from all of these other channels that's offering to help. Who knows? I might even talk to Mennonite Farmhouse. Maybe she could bring you onto a Zoom and teach you how to cook something. That might be something. I'll enter to win that one. God knows I need the lessons. If we send multiple dresses, take one photo of the bunch. Yep. And then Joe, what he'll do is you take a good solid picture. It doesn't have to be, you do it with your cell phone. Send it to our email. Once that comes, Joe put it into a folder and he'll add your name on that dress or dresses. That way we don't get anything mixed up. And it's also going to help me keep the count a little stronger. I've got boxes this year that'll hold 50 dresses per box. Remember, our goal this year on behalf of Handmade by Ying, Tamati Sews for Project Dress a Girl is 402 dresses. We want to double what we gave last year. Remember, don't use ribbon. Don't use ribbon. It's not fair to the little girls. It's going to hurt their little arms. It looks frilly and everything, but they have no way to fix the dresses. So, let me see. I do not have a channel, but Ellen, awesome. Andrea, that would be great. I would love to donate. Bought it years ago and never used. Send me an email, and in that email, write donation. if you would, and give me your contact information, because when that, I'll put that in the bucket with everything. So our goal this year is 402. You guys have never failed me, ever, 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 ever. So I know we can do this. So that's why we're getting started early. We're getting stitching, and we're going to make this happen. So if I'm too busy, I can just mail fabric. Yes. If you're too busy and life happens, and Lord knows it does, I'm going to pre-cut as much of this fabric as I can before our quilt retreat in June. I'm taking pre-packaged dresses to my quilt retreat, and my ladies have been gracious enough. We're going to try to streamline. Somebody's going to do the straps. Somebody's going to make the pockets. Someone's going to put the bias under the arms. Somebody's going to use the machine serger and go down the side. Somebody else is going to do the hem. We're going to get this done. So I feel bad that I'm charging them to come to a retreat, but we're going to take a couple hours when they're free at their leisure and just streamline. So I may even take my sewing machine into another room and just make pockets, or I might just make straps. That way it's all in a stack, and all they got to do is pick up a packet that has X amount of dresses. I can offer a prize from Canada, mail cost. I get it. So sew with Debbie, send me an email, and if we pull someone out of this, like in your area, we can do that. If it's a Canada that we pull, it'll just stay over there, and I'll pull yours. What kinds of fabric is preferred? Maudie, would you like to elaborate? I've got to get back to work, but great seeing your smiling faces. She's already left. She's working. The girl works all the time. So cotton is best. If you can put your hand up under it and you can see through it, don't use it. If you have any questions, go over to her channel and have a look-see. She just recently posted a video of the patterns, and she always goes over what you can use. If you can see through it, you can't use cartoon print. You can't use Disney fabric. There's things. So the best thing to know is stop over at her channel. If you've got questions, email me offline, your phone number, Lord Lenny, and I'll call you. Or we can talk about it on our squirrel group. I'm going to challenge all of my squirrels too. Just saying. Just saying. So, if that wasn't a mouthful, I don't know what is. So, are you guys ready to see what I'm coming up with for Fallon? It's going to be fun. If anybody wants labels, email me your mailing address and I will mail you labels. But in the subject line, that way when Joe prints for me, he puts them in stacks. He doesn't just give me the emails. He stacks them up according to the subject line. So need labels. Give me your mailing address and a contact number. And how many you need in the email itself. But that's the stuff I need. I've got 150 labels, and I'd love to get those mailed out. If anybody wants to sponsor labels when they become available, you are more than welcome to do that as well. So, let's get over to the Fallon. Fallon is amazing. She makes the best quilts, the best patterns that come along. And this is her newest one. It is stinking cute. I love it, I love it, I love it. Praise God, he gets to have his treatment. Amen. Awesome. Thank you. So, I've spoke with Mennonite Farmhouse. I have not got the opportunity to talk to Fallon, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. My pattern, her pattern, that I can tweak it just a little bit. So, can we use a different pattern? If you can use the McCall 5797, but she just dropped 15 free patterns over on Maudie Says. So, you can use any one of those. Just remember, you can't put a zipper in it. You can't use Velcro. It needs to be able to go over their heads. Easiest way to put it. Because when these dresses are being given away, little girls are standing in line and they're putting it on. That's why the ties help, you know, so they can adjust. Are the labels the same each year? Yes. Same labels. Absolutely. So, what about snaps? They're not going to be able to make any repairs. So, should a snap break, the dresses will become useless. So, no dresses, no zippers, no Velcro. So, I know it sounds rough, but these kids are going to be washing these dresses when they get the opportunity in riverbanks. So, you got to think they're going to third world countries 90% of the time. If there's a natural disaster here in the States, I believe the dresses go there first. Otherwise, they go out of the country. So, Mennonite Farmhouse, her organization from her channel, she's just tied to it. This is not, I plugged her channel in on this. Her sewing guild, per se, does Quilts of Valor. Let me see, just post the link to Fallon's new dancing star in chat. Thank you. So, what I'm doing is, I'm doing 2 projects with 1 pattern. Killing, kind of like Joe says, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, if I was a murderer of birds. So, I'm doing, with the help of Day, and yes, Day, if this does not work, it's on both of us. But anyway, as I look at Fallon's pattern, instead of doing the blue in the background, all of this pretty blue, and where she has her stars, I'll pull it up a little closer. Where you see the stars and that blue behind, I'm going to tweak mine and I'm going to do all white background. There's a reason. So you got to visualize my vision here. So I'm going to set this up here so that I don't lose track. You saw how the blue was coming down. So what I'm going to do there is, I jumped ahead of myself. The stars are going to be fussy cut. And what I'm going to do is use Fallon's ruler. And I'm going to be able to see through it. Let me show you. And I'm going to be able to fussy cut flags out. I think that's going to be really stinking cool. So the stars that go one way, all of the stars are going to get the flags. The flag. Then the squared ones that have the corners that come across the quilt, I'm going to do, so I don't waste a lot of fabric, I'm going to do it with the stripes. So this is going to be a red, white, and blue all-American quilt. The star legs is going to be stars. And I think that's going to tie this puppy together. And then my binding is going to be cut on the bias. So it'll give me a lot of stretch going around. So this is red, white, and blue. Then my backing is going to be the red. So this is going to be really cool when it all comes together. So that's one take on it. And I'm using solid white. Like I said, I'm going to do this 2 times. So I'll be cutting 2 quilts at once. So this is just Moda solid whites. I think it's going to look cool. I do have to find me red because what Day and I talked about, but I always pre-wash if I'm using red. But I do believe I'm going to have to make a store run where all of these come across. We were going to do 1 red, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 blue. It's going to end up, I know me. My OCD will not allow me to do that. I know me. So what I'm thinking is the star legs are going to have the star fabric And then the blocks that have all of the little chain pieces that's going to tie this project together. What I think, keyword think, is I'm going to do that in red. And it's going to make this puppy pop off the page. Mine for Vets will have eagles and stars in the corner. I think that's cool. I implore upon any quilter out there. These guys gave so much to our country. I don't mind giving back. So I love the fact that Fallon's pattern came at the perfect time, because I'm always on the hunt for the next pattern to utilize for this kind of a project. So Fallon said she was interested in seeing what I would come up with. Oh, let me pull this over here. For my own. And that's where it's going to get fun. This is going to be my backing. Girl loves anything blues, teals. So you can see where this is heading. And I'm going to challenge myself. Don't know if it'll work. A little OCD here. But I have these blueberry patch batiks. And it comes in all these different shades. So I believe if my math is correct, I'm going to be able to do something fun in the stars, and then I will utilize these two. One will end up being binding, and one's going to end up being the little stars. If I can find some pretty teal, I might use teal instead. And I'm using a white on white with polka dot. I know you're not going to be able to, you might be able to see the polka dots in this. But I think that'll be really cute to tie it all together. So when I cut the quilt out, for one, I'm going to be cutting 2 quilts at once. And the reason behind that is I get to play with my rulers. Your blocks are going to finish at 9.5. And I need to call Fallon, because I want to order a ruler before I get these completed. Hopefully it'll get here before I need it. But these rulers are game changers. They've got the sticky on the back, and I can get my little fingers under here. Going through the pattern and seeing what sizes I need, I've got everything on hand except for the 9.5. So I'm either going to mark one of my other rulers and just forego doing that for the square down. But it's really cool that I can see through these. It lines up really nice. And I like the fact that I can see through when I'm doing the fussy cutting to get exactly what I need when I'm doing these stars and the flags. So, that's all I have from over here today. I know I kept you a little bit longer, and I talked a lot about everything. And my goal was going to be like in and out, 10 minutes or less with a hack each Wednesday. Who knows? You never know what you're going to get over here, right? So I want to thank you guys for taking your time and hopping in with me today. I humbly appreciate each and every one of you. Please keep Nancy's husband in your prayers. He was able to get his chemo today. Keep Heather's family of, ouch, just stuck myself. Keep the debt-free quilter Heather in your prayers. Her daddy is sick, and he could use some prayers. If anybody else has any prayer requests ever, let us know in the chat, and we'll make sure that we get you added. We're strong in faith and strong in our convictions, and we'll pray for you. So everybody have a fabulous week, and I'll see you back on Friday night. Take care. God bless. Bye.